Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about food matters. Food is not just nutrition. It is not only about recipes or cooking techniques. Food carries deep meaning. For immigrant communities, especially South Asian immigrants, it is often the way they are seen by others. Food is central to how a whole community is imagined. Anita Mannur, in her introduction to culinary fictions, discusses five theoretical aspects about food. First, culinary metaphors and racial ontology. One of the powerful ways food matters is through metaphors. People use food names to describe racial identity. In 2003, former Indian ambassador Lalit Mansingh gave a speech. He used the coconut as a positive symbol for Indian diaspora. He said, the coconut grows in harsh conditions with little maintenance. It requires no special care. It thrives anywhere. He meant that Indians are resilient. They can succeed in any environment, even hostile ones. However, Mannur points out that the term coconut usually has a negative meaning. In everyday language, a coconut is a person who is brown on the outside but white on the inside. This means they look Indian but act American or Western. They have betrayed their ethnic roots. This is not unique to South Asians. Other communities have similar terms. African Americans use Oreo. East Asian Americans use banana or Twinkie. Native Americans use apple. All these terms suggest there is an authentic way to be a person of color. And if you do not act that way, you are fake. Mannur introduces the term racial ontology. Ontology is the study of being or existence. Racial ontology means the study of what it means to exist as a racialized person. These food metaphors suggest that your tastes and behaviors should match your physical appearance. If you are brown, you should like brown food. You should act in a certain way. If you do not act in a certain way, you are inauthentic. These metaphors are more complicated than they seem. They deconstruct the idea that race is natural or fixed. They show that race is performed, but they also police that performance. They tell you how to be properly brown. Food metaphors are not just slang, they are theories of race. They tell us that identity is judged through taste, smell, and consumption. If you eat the wrong food, you become the wrong kind of person. Second, national cuisines and global admixtures. Food is often used by political figures to define national identity. But these definitions are rarely simple. They hide more than they reveal. In 2001, British Foreign Secretary Robin Cook gave a famous speech. He claimed that chicken tikka masala was Britain's national dish. He said this showed how Britain absorbs and adapts outside influences. He praised British multiculturalism. But the history of chicken tikka masala is not so simple. Legend has it that a Bangladeshi chef invented the dish. A British consumer ordered chicken tikka, which is dry. The customer demanded gravy. To please him, the chef made a sauce from Campbell's tomato soup and some spices. Chicken tikka masala was born. Critics pointed out that chicken tikka masala is not authentic Indian food. It does not exist in India. It was created for British tastes. So, how can it be Britain's national dish? Manu says this debate is not really about food, it is about anxieties concerning race and cultural mixing. Chicken tikka masala represents the mixing of Indian and British cultures. For some people, this mixing is good. It shows Britain is open. For others, it is bad. It means British culture is being diluted. Cook's speech left out many things. It left out the history of colonialism. It left out the racism that South Asians face in Britain. It left out the terrible working conditions in Indian restaurant kitchens. Mannur asks, why is chicken tikka masala welcome on British tables when Indian bodies are not welcome to sit at those same tables? This is the contradiction of multiculturalism. Food is accepted, but people are not. National cuisines are fictions, they are invented stories. They hide the violence and labor that brought those foods to the table. When we study food, we must ask what is being left out of the story. Third, palatable multiculturalism. Mannur introduces a key term, palatable multiculturalism. Palatable multiculturalism means that only certain kinds of difference are allowed. Difference must be tasty, safe, and non threatening. It must not challenge the existing power structure. Food is the perfect example of palatable difference. White Americans may love eating Indian food. They may enjoy the spices and flavors, but they may also fear Indian people. They may not want to live next door to them. Mannur gives the example of the school lunchbox. For second generation children, food is often a sight of shame. A child might covet white foods like tuna sandwiches or Lunchables. These foods help them feel normal. They help them escape the stigma of smelly ethnic food. Parents face a difficult choice. They can pack American food to protect their children, or they can pack Indian food to keep culture alive. Either way, food becomes a battleground. When ethnic literature focuses heavily on food, it can be seen as safely ethnic. It is non political. It serves up culture on a platter for mainstream consumption. This is the risk of culinary writing. It can be commodified and emptied of political content. Mannur argues that we must move beyond these palatable readings. We must see how food also masks deeper stories of racism and class struggle. The sweet and spicy surface may hide a bitter inside. Palatable multiculturalism is a trap. It celebrates food while rejecting people. It allows mainstream society to enjoy difference without actually accepting difference. As critics, we must notice this gap. Liking a cuisine is not the same as accepting a community. One of the important concepts in this introduction is culinary citizenship. Culinary citizenship means using food to claim a sense of belonging. It is the ability to articulate national or cultural identity through what you eat, cook, and share. This is not official citizenship, it is cultural citizenship. It is about feeling and performing belonging. You prove you are a good member of a community by cooking its food. Mannur does not just look at food as a symbol. She does not say spices mean passion or rice means home. That is too simple. Instead, she looks at the discursive and affective place of food. Discursive means how food is talked about and written about. Affective means how food makes people feel. Together, these approaches show how food actually organizes the words and emotions of the diaspora. Culinary citizenship is not gender neutral. Women are expected to cook, they are expected to keep culture alive through food. This is a burden. It is also a form of control. A woman who cooks well is praised. A woman who does not cook is blamed for losing culture. Her identity is tied to her labor in the kitchen. In diaspora, culinary citizenship becomes even more important. Your culture is a minority. It is seen as strange or exotic. So you must work harder to prove it is valuable. You cook for your family, you cook for your community, you may even cook for outsiders. Culinary citizenship is a double edged sword. It gives you a way to belong, but it also puts you to work. It makes your identity into a constant performance. Culinary citizenship is a lens. It helps us see how food is used to claim belonging. It also helps us see who is forced to do the labor of belonging. Fifth, food as class and labor critique. Food is not just about the person eating, it is about the person producing it. Mannur insists that we cannot study food without studying labor. We celebrate Indian restaurants, we enjoy chicken tikka masala, we watch cooking shows, but we rarely think about the workers. Who cleans the dishes? Who chops the vegetables? Who works 16-hour shifts? Who is paid below minimum wage? These workers are often invisible. They are the undocumented, the disenfranchised, the working class. Food can be used for radical protest. It can be a critique of labor conditions. By looking at who cooks and who serves, we can see how gender and class hierarchies are maintained. She gives the example of restaurant kitchens. These are often male dominated spaces. Women are pushed to the background. They do the prep work, they do the cleaning, they are paid less. When we ignore labor, we ignore power. When we only look at the beautiful plate of food, we forget the tired body that made it. Food studies must include class analysis. We must ask who grows the food, who cooks it, who cleans up, who is paid fairly, who is invisible. These questions turn food writing into serious political critique. Food studies is often dismissed as not serious. Some scholars call food studies scholarship light. They say it is too superficial for academic inquiry. They think food is just about pleasure, not politics. They believe real scholarship should focus on more important things. Mannur rejects this charge. She says the dismissal of food studies is itself a symptom of deeper biases. It assumes that anything associated with women, body, or domestic sphere is not serious. Within Asian American studies, there is also anxiety about food writing. Frank Chin, a famous writer, called it food pornography. He said it exoticizes Asian culture for white readers. He believed real Asian American literature should be angry, not tasty. But Mannur thinks food writing can be both popular and political. The surface may be sweet, but the inside may be bitter. We need the theory to study food. We cannot just describe what people eat. We must analyze how food is used discursively. We must ask what food does, not just what it means. Theory helps us move beyond simple readings. It helps us see the contradictions and complexities. Without theory, food studies remains descriptive. With theory, it becomes analytical. Food studies is serious scholarship. It requires rigorous theory. It connects to race, class, gender, and post-colonial studies. The charge of scholarship light is a way to dismiss work that challenges traditional academic hierarchies. Food occupies a seemingly paradoxical space. It is at once a site of affirmation and resistance. Affirmation means food helps immigrants feel connected to home. It gives them comfort. It allows them to pass culture to their children. It is a source of pride. Resistance means food can also be used to disrupt easy narratives. It can expose racism, it can critique capitalism, it can show the pain of displacement. Mannur calls the culinary an enunciative space. Enunciation means speaking or declaring. A space of enunciation is where you can say something about who you are. Food is such a space. You declare your identity through what you cook and eat, but You are also spoken about through your food. Others judge you by what you eat. Let's conclude with the key takeaways. 1. Food is a language. It is used to construct racial and national boundaries. When you study food, you are studying how people make meaning. You are studying discourse. Second, food can be a source of nostalgic comfort. It can also be a site of racial shame and exclusion. It can bring families together. It can also mark who is outside. Good analysis does not resolve these contradictions, it holds them in tension. Third, food is deeply connected to global histories of colonization, migration, and labor. You cannot understand chicken tikka masala without understanding the British Empire. You cannot understand the lunchbox without understanding racism in schools. Food is never just personal, it is always structural.